Okay, we will come back to our lecture. So here we are going to add it a text appearances. So we will write it at an question mark and write. I will check it. What is the exact line and write then ROID. Then we have to write attribute ATTR backslash. Why it is not working? We will check it. Question mark and write attribute, then we will add it text appearance, so it will be a little bit bold. And now I have to add next. Now I have to add next text view. So the next text view is, now my Android Studio is a little bit slow. Text view, wrap content, width will be wrap content, the height will be also wrap content. Then I will add text. So the text will be it was spot at the rate katechat.com. Fine. Now we will go to the next slide and we will see inside the next slide what they are going to do. Okay, we had already done this work. So now they are adding some resources for the option when we are going to add some. So these are the text which we are going to add to the options. So before adding to the option, we will create some resources for this, and these are the add resources. So I will go to my resource file, which is string, and inside the string I have to add these resources. String name, navigation inbox, and then I will add it a message that this is the message one. And then I will add another string, and this is this time it is draft. Okay, so I will write a drop message. The next one is string and navigation send, so I will write it send. The next thing is string and it is navigation trash, so we will write it trash. The next is support, e underscore support, and I will write support over here. Okay, two remaining for the activities, which is help and feedback. So now the last one remaining is feedback. Okay, it is done. Now we will go to the next slide and we will see what we have to do inside the next slide. The drawer gets its option from a menu, so we have to create a menu. And how we have to create this menu, we will go to this, then we will on the resources we will right click, and when the window is open, then we will select the new, then we will create Android resource directory. Then it will come up with a pop-up window, and for which I am waiting right now. Okay, now it's come. Then it is resource type value, we will convert it to menu, and then we will click OK. Okay, now if you can see, there will be a menu uh, directly over here. So to the menu we will add XML file, new, and we will come to XML, layout XML, and we will give it the name of menu underscore navigation, because these are navigation menu. Then we will go to the next slide. Inside the next slide you can see that they are creating a group, a group of the item, the first four item, which is the message, drop, send messages, and trash. They are creating a group for it, so I will also create the same group inside this. So this is the main activity. I will erase the code from here, and I will create a group. Okay, but before group I had to add a menu over here, so I will delete what I had already written over here, and I will convert it into menu. So I will convert this layout to menu, and I will erase this Android width and height code. First I will wait for Gradle synchronization. Okay, now Gradle synchronization is complete. I will go with my code. I will remove the Android layout width and height. Okay, now this is my menu. I will add a group inside here. Okay, I think I had created a wrong file, because this file is created inside the layout, but we don't need this. So I will delete this. Okay, and we had to create this file inside the main menu. So I will click on the main menu. We'll go to new, and we will click on main resource file instead of XML file. And now then I will give it a name of menu navigation. So now it will open file for me. We will go to the text. Inside here I will add a group, and we will tell the group that you should be, the group should be single checkable. So I will write Android checkable behavior single. It means that only one uh, items can be selected. So inside this we have to add some items. So the first item I am going to add is for the inbox. So I will give it an ID of navigation inbox. The second is I will edit the icon. So I had already added my icon. So I will create the icon of email. I will set the icon of email over here. The next thing is we have to provide it a title. So title is from string navigation inbox. And the last thing we have to check it already. So the first thing, it is the first item, this is, it will be already selected, and now my this item is completed. Now I will copy and paste the remaining item. For the remaining item I will copy and paste the code. So the next is for navigation drop. So I will change my ID into draft, and I will change this image into draft image. So we will select the image for the drops, and it is feedback, help, delete, send. Where else gone the draft item? So I will check it whether it is included. Yes, my draft icon is already added. It is in the name of edit. So I will write edit underscore black. Why not? It is working. I will write it again. Dribble. And inside the dribble, where is my edit? And it again, it is not coming over here. So I will select the one from here, then I will change it to edit. Now it is fine. Then I will change this also into string, and inside the string we have to edit navigation dropped, and we have to remove this checked item. Okay, now we have to add another item, and we will provide an ID of navigation. After drop we have to add send item, so I will write send. Then we have to add icon from tribal, and we have to select the send black item. Then we have to add title, so inside the title we will give it the title of string and navigation sent. Yes, this is the title. Now we have to add the last item, which is trace. We'll provide its no. First we have to provide the ID navigation and underscore trace. Then I have to add the item dribble item kitten feedback. Where is the trace item? Delete sweepback. This is the trace item. Now I have to add the title. Inside the title I will add string navigation trash. Yes, this is the title for it. Now it is complete. Now we will go to the next slide. Inside the next slide they are adding another group which is named as support. This is they are providing it support. Then they are giving inside this item they are providing two a menu, and inside the menu they are providing again two items. So I will do it the same. I will go here, and outside of the group I will create an item, and I will give it the title of support. So I had already add it string, so I will write it. Then inside this item we had to create a menu, and inside the menu we have again create two items. The first item is help, so we will provide, and now we are going to add help activity, so I will give it the name of navigation help. The next thing is icon, and we have to add the help icon over here. The next thing is the title, so we have to provide app name navigation help, and this is done. Now I have to create another item. I will give it the ID of navigation underscore feedback. Then I will give it an icon, and we are giving it a feedback icon. And then I will create the title, and feedback title will be already settled inside my string. Yes. Now the slide is complete. We had added all the menu, and after that we will what we are going to add is, okay, these are all of our items menus. So it is support. Inside support there will be two items. Okay, our code is done. Now we will go to the next slide. So inside the next slide we can see that we are creating a navigation drawer. We are creating a navigation drawer inside our main menu XML file. So we will go to the main menu XML file. Where is our main menu XML file? Inside the layout, this is our main menu XML file. So this is the constraint layout. I will delete the code from here. I will also convert this main layout, parent layout to drawer layout. This is my drawer layout. Then I have to change this context, and I have to provide it an ID. So ID drawer layout. Then we have to add a linear layout for uh, for other things. So it will be match parent. Then we will give it activity orientation. So inside this linear layout, we have to write things which is vertical. So inside this linear layout, we will include our toolbar. So our toolbar is inside the layout toolbar, and we will give it an ID of toolbar. Toolbar now ID is done. I'm done with the ID. After to toolbar, we have to add a frame layout. Inside this frame layout, we have to show our fragment. So this frame layout will be match parent, match parent. I will provide it an ID. The ID should be content frame underscore frame. So this is my frame layout. Okay, now we will go to the next slide. And inside the next slide, you can see that we are adding a navigation. So we will also add navigation. And we will add this navigation after the linear layout. com.google.material navigation, and we have to provide it. The width will be wrap content, and the height will be match parent. The next thing we have to provide it an ID, which is nav underscore view. Okay, now we will give it the gravity. So it should be layout gravity. Where is layout gravity? It's not working. Why? So I will write it by myself. This is layout underscore gravity equals to start. Okay, now I'm done with the gravity. The next thing is we have to provide it a header layout, which is our navigation header, and then we will add menu. So for this we have to provide header layout, and our header layout is a nav header. So we will search nav header over here. Okay, first we have to write at the rate layout and then nav header. So header is selected. Now we have to add our option, which is inside the menu. So and we will write at the rate menu. From the menu file we will select navigation menu. So it is also done. Now we will go to this next slide. Okay, this inside the next slide, they are adding some code into the inbox activity. So our inbox activity is yet not created. So I will create an inbox activity. No. What they are going to do into inbox fragment? They are writing the code inside the inbox fragment. So I will go to the inbox fragment. Inside the inbox fragment, I have to make an object of. Okay, they are adding inbox fragment into main activity. So we have to write our code inside the main activity, inside the main activity, we have to, the first thing we have to do is we have to add toolbar, Android X toolbar. Then we will create the object. Then we will typecast the object into Android X. Then we will find view by ID r.id.toolbar. So this is toolbar object. Then we will set support action bar in toolbar. We are done with the toolbar. Now we have to do fragment work. So first we will create an object of the fragment, and we will create object of the inbox fragment. Inbox fragment, the object is created. Now we have to add this fragment into the main activity. For adding the fragment to main activity, we need a fragment transaction. So we had to make an object of fragment transaction. This is our fragment transaction. So I will write it ft equals to this, and then we will get support fragment manager. Where is get support fragment manager dot begin transaction? Yes, and now we have to add the fragment. So ft dot add, inside this we have provide two things. The first thing is the frame layout, and the second thing is the fragment. The first thing is the frame layout, where we have to add the fragment, and the second thing is the fragment itself. So now we have done with it. Now we will commit it. So we committed. Now we will go to the next slide. Inside the next slide, they are doing three things. The first thing is add a drawer toggle. This sandwich, this burger icon, they call it a drawer toggle. Then make the drawer respond to the click. So whenever you are clicking any menu from the drawer, it will respond to the click event. Then close the drawer when the user presses the back button. So these three things we have to do. The first thing is we have to add a drawer toggle. So before adding a drawer toggle, we have to add these two strings. First, we will add these two string inside our strings. Where is my strings item? It will be inside value. So inside the string, we will provide two string, that is name, navigation, nav, open, drawer. I will write it open, navigation, drawer. Then we have to create another string which is nav, close, drawer, and I will write it close, navigation, drawer. Okay, what they are doing over here is beneath the toolbar layout code, they are adding a drawer, and then they are adding a toggle button, and they are creating a toggle button. So we will go to our main activity code. Where is our main activity? Okay, this is our main activity code. Underneath this, first we have to create a drawer layout object. So this is our drawer layout. We will call it a drawer. Then we had already a drawer layout, so we will typecast it into drawer layout. Then find view by ID r.id.drawer layout. So now we have created and reference a drawer. Now we will create action bar drawer toggle, and we will call it toggle. Then we will go to new and action bar toggle. Here we have provide five things. The first one is the current activity, so I will write for that purpose this. The second thing we have to add over here is a drawer, and I will write a drawer over here. The third thing we have provide over here is the toolbar, because we are going to overlay it, we are going to add it to the toolbar. So I will provide the toolbar object. Then we have to add two strings, which is for opening and closing, which we had already written inside the r dot string dot. The first one is the opening, and the second one should be r dot string dot close, navigation close. And we have done with the toggle. Okay, now we will go to the slides, and inside the slide you will see that they are adding a toggle button to the drawer with the help of drawer.add drawer listener. So we will also do the same, but we will also do the same inside this, and I will go to the code. Why not? It is working. Okay, drawer dot add drawer listener, and I will provide a toggle. Mean when the toggle button is clicked, drawer will listen to this click and it will open navigation. Then after that we have to sync it. Mean when toggle dot sync state. We will sync it because when you close the navigation, the burger icon will reset. Okay, now we will go to the next slide. Inside the next slide, they are adding a navigation. So for the navigation, they are implementing the navigation item select listener because inside the navigation, whenever an item is clicked, we have to listen the click. So I will go to my Android, and inside app compact activity, I will implement navigation view dot on navigation item click listener. Okay, now we are done with this. Now we have to create object of the navigation, and we have to add set navigation listener. So we will go and we will add this code. After toggle, I have to add a navigation view object. This is navigation view equals to navigation view find view by id r dot id dot uh, navigation view. Where is our navigation? This is the navigation view. Now we have to set listener navigation view dot set navigation listener, and we are adding it into this activity. So we will write it this. Okay, the next thing is they are overriding the item select method. So we will also override the item select method. Okay, outside the onCreate, we will override. For overriding method, you have to hold Control and press O. Then we have to override on navigation. So where is on? Yes, this is on navigation item select method. Press OK. Now this method is override. Now this method will be overridden. It is taking a little bit time. Okay, now it is overridden. Now we will go and see what they are actually adding. Okay, the next method they are going to override is on press. On back press, click OK. On back press is also overridden. Now we will add code to the unbake press. Mean when the bake button is pressed, if the drawer is open, close it. Okay. Else super dot unbake press. Else do the same work which you are going to do with the help of bake button. So I will add this code. Inside this, first we have to create drawer object, drawer layout object, because with the help of drawer layout we can open and close it. Find view by id, r dot id dot drawer layout. Now my drawer layout is ready. Now I can write the if condition. If drawer layout dot is drawer open, then we will also give it the gravity compet dot start, mean it is already open. Then we will close it. So we will write drawer layout dot close drawer. Okay. Now we will provide the activity name. So we will provide it gravity compet dot start. Else we have to do the same work which we are taking, which we are doing from the on the press button. Now this code is also done. We will go to the next slide. Okay, inside the next slide they are showing you the full main activity code, and we had already done with this all this code. Okay, the next thing they are going to show to us is the navigation. When an item is selected, what we have to do. Mean, for example, when inbox item is selected or send item is selected, we have to open their fragments, and if help and feedback activity is selected, we have to open these activities. So we have to add code over here. For that purpose we will override this code, return. Okay, now I will make an id, int id equals to, and I will save the id which is selected. So item dot get id selected. Now I had the id of the item which is selected, and after that we have to set the fragments. No, we will write a switch code over here. So and I will provide id inside the switch. Now we have to write the case for the id. So r dot id dot, first we will write it for the drop. So it is navigation dropped, and when the navigation drawer is clicked we have to make a fragment object, and we have to make a fragment object. So inside each case we have to create a fragment. So by creating a fragment in each id, we will create a fragment above over here, fragment, and I will provide it a null fragment. Now we had also create the activities. For activities we need intent, so I will also create an intent object, and I will assign null. Now we have to create new. Where is our draw fragment? This is the draw fragment, and after that we will break it. The next thing is we are going to add code for send item. So id dot navigation sent, and we have to assign this fragment new send fragment. Then we will break it. Then we will provide case for trace, id dot navigation trace, create a fragment code equals to new trace fragment, and then we will break it. Okay, one more is remaining, which is inbox, and we will create it by we will add it by default. So now we have to add mm, the helping activity. So this is navigation help, and for that purpose we need an intent. So we have to create an intent new intent, and inside this we have to create a, you have to provide source activity, which is this, and the target activity is help activity dot class. After that I will write a break. Then we will add another case for feedback, r dot id dot navigation feedback, intent equals to new intent this, and it should be feedback activity. I will provide a break. Now the only thing remaining is inbox, and we will add it by default. So fragment equals to new inbox fragment. Code is done. We have done with that much code. After that we will see what they are going to add. They are adding the code for the fragment, that if fragment is not null, then we have to create a transaction and we have to replace the fragment, then commit it. And if fragment is null, then it means that we haven't selected the fragment item. It means that we had selected the activity item. Then we will write start activity. So I will write this code after this if switch condition. If fragment not null, not equals to null, which means that fragment item is selected, then we will create a fragment transaction equals to ft equals to get support manager dot begin transaction, then ft dot replace, and we what we are going to replace, we will provide it the content frame, which is the frame layout where we are going to add the fragment, and we will add the fragment. Then we will commit dot commit the code else. Inside the else statement we will provide if the fragment is not null, if the fragment is null, which means that intent is created, then we will write code start activity and we will provide intent over here. Okay, now we are done with this code. Now we will see after that they are creating an object of the drawer, uh, and then they are closing the drawer. Why they are adding this code? Because whenever you click an item inside the drawer is closed after opening the selected activity or fragment. We need the drawer to be closed. That's why we are creating the drawer object and we are closing it. So I will create the drawer object. Underneath drawer layout, the drawer equals to drawer layout find view by id, r dot id dot drawer layout. Now I will close the drawer layout dot close drawer, will provide the activity, and I will write it this, but it is not working. So it's saying that you have to provide the gravity. So I will provide the gravity compat dot start. Then we will return true. Okay, now we are done with this code. Now we will say now our code is completed. Now we will run our code and I will show you the application. Okay, I had made some silly mistake, which is I haven't write a semicolon over here after the commit, so I will provide the semicolon. And then if you can see feedback activity, we had also an error over here because I haven't tried it feedback dot class. So I will write it over here. Then now I will run my code again. Okay, my app is installed successfully and it is working fine, but due to some issues I cannot show you the output. So hope so your app will also be fine. If you had any issue you can ask me. Okay, thank you so much for the time.